What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another Thormated podcast. I'm your host, Stock from Detail Made Simple, and today I have something special for you all. So pretty much Detail Co has done a revamp on their product line and released new products as well, or revamp certain types of products that already exist. So here is a brand new product from them, which is Detail Co's wheel and tire cleaner. Now, before you were able to use a BDE, which was pretty much your all exterior bugs, dirt exterior cleaner. Or the second one, they only had a wheel cleaner, which was their Ragnarok, which was their wheel acid. And now I am using this brand new product. Now, I have used this twice before already. I did try to make a video on this before, but the audio was cut out. And this was, again, about 2 weeks ago. I did the video and it was just very light duty. So I'll play the clip. But now I've done a 1,800 mile trip. And pretty much I say 1,800 miles because we drove to New York, stayed in New York for a week, drove around New York City, and drove back. And it went through pretty much 3 rainstorms throughout that whole week because one, we were driving through Virginia and it was just pouring for 2 hours straight. And then it rained in New York. And then another day when we were coming back, it was pouring again for about 3 hours straight from New Jersey all the way to like Delaware. So that was pretty much how much rain we had. And yeah, so you see how dirty the vehicle is. Now take things with a grain of salt. Now, what tire dressing I've used? Well, I've used Pan's V2 tire dressing on all my tires. And again, it's only been about a week and a half, but it was a quick trip nonetheless. But you can see that my tires are extremely dirty. And I am using this in a 1:10 dilution ratio. This was the original dilution that I ended up using the first time when I was testing it out when my tires were not really that dirty, and same thing with my wheels. So let me bring you in and we will chat on this. As all of you may know, this is the dirtiest tire I could find. Hopefully you guys were able to pick that up on the overhead walk around. But pretty much for heavy duty cleaning, for wheels and tires and engine bays, you want to use this in a 5:1 dilution ratio. But for me, I like to test stuff out, and 10:1 did pretty good when my tires wasn't really that dirty and I was getting a lot of browning. So I am going to use this in a 1:10, especially because it's not like I completely neglected this wheel and tire for many weeks. So that is something to keep in mind. Now, I do have 24 ounces of water, or say 22 ounces of water inside this IK foamer, and then I ended up putting about like 2.1 ounces to be exact for that 10:1 dilution ratio in here. It's already pumped up, not to waste any time, and I am going to foam this on. And technical difficulties, I forgot to actually, I thought I pumped this up, but guess I didn't. In terms of foaming, again, this is a 10:1 dilution ratio. So as you can see, it's a little bit more watery, less viscous. But we will see how this does in a 10:1 dilution ratio on this super dirty tire. And again, this is a 10:1. Now you can get, I'm guessing, more foam for sure if you were to use it in a 5:1. And you know what, we'll probably do a 5:1 in a little bit on another wheel and tire. But as you can see, it is doing really well on here. So I am going, oh, that's why it's the O-ring. So you know what, let me fix this up. That's why it's not foaming correctly, because it is foaming from the sides. So I do gotta get another IK sprayer. So I am going to align this O-ring and see what we can do, because it is leaking from the sides. And this O-ring is a little bit tricky because it is, hopefully on camera, it's kind of hard to see through, but in here it was misaligned, the foam, so I'm the O-ring, so I'm pushing this up against here. And all right, close this up nice and snug. Hopefully it is nice and even now, and hopefully we'll be able to foam And see, there we go. All right, there we go. As you can see, it's a little bit more sudsy now. It's not as watery. That is, again, my technical difficulties. It is sealed better, but as you can see, I gotta get another IK sprayer or another O-ring. Because, yeah, it's not sudsing up like crazy like before on the sides, but this will do. So yeah, so this is a 1:10 dilution ratio. And we are going to scrub. Look at that brownie. Doing pretty well in a 1:10. I am going to try this in a 1:5. So that is number one. Come in here. Thing works the best for you, or which ones you kind of prefer. But yeah, so we've let that dwell already for quite some time. Look at all that stuff that came out from the wheels and tires in itself. And again, this is a 1:10 dilution ratio, nothing crazy. And time to foam off, rinse off. And there we go. Nice, clean tire. And I am going to fast forward this. And yeah, you know what? Let me grab a towel so we all can see how much dirt is left behind afterwards, yada, yada, yada. But again, it is pretty much completely clean, as you can see. Clean. So this is the after. And this is the before. So in a 1:10, getting a huge bang for your buck. 2 ounces of product. I could still go around, do all 4 tires. It's still sudsing up on the side. So, but yeah, there it is. Detail Co. Wheel and Tire Cleaner. So hopefully you all enjoyed this video. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and that is pretty much it for Detail Co's Wheel and Tire Cleaner. Now, if you all don't know me from many years, go onto my regular detailing channel called Detailing Made Simple. You'll see that I always like to use my wheel and tire cleaners as in a foamer. Like, I like to foam it on with a foamer versus just using it as a spray bottle. I had the same experience with Maniac Wheel and Tire Cleaner and Wheel and Tire Cleaner. Blaze Blaze from Luminous is the only one that doesn't really like to be foamed on as much with a foamer, but you have the foaming tip. So I prefer to use that a little bit more. But yeah, so if you're gonna use anything that's a wheel and tire cleaner that's dual action, it's best to use a foamer for that more dwell time and more reactivity on your wheels and tires. But that is pretty much it. I used this in a 10:1, and you saw how well it cleaned after 1,800 miles of travel. It did superbly well, and I have no complaints of this so far. So yeah, Detail Co. Wheel and Tire Cleaner. So I will see you all on the next one. Peace.